This is by far the largest venue in which the Atlantic Sharks will play football this season. Welcome to the 15,000 capacity Daytona Stadium, home to the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, the Mainland Buccaneers, and our hosts for tonight, the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. This evening, two teams looking to bounce back from disappointment last Friday night face off, as the Atlantic Sharks have made the short 9-mile trip up from Port Orange to face the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. Hello and a very warm welcome to Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. My name is Michael Turillo. Thank you for joining me on this rare Thursday night evening of high school football in Volusia County. After what seemed like constant rain the first half of the week, the clouds have cleared and it is absolutely beautiful. It is mid-70s, clear skies, just a little bit of cloud cover, and I know it's only going to be cool for a few days. But it finally feels like fall here on the first day of October in Central Florida. Well, in sports, lies in life, it is important to have a short memory, and last week in their season opener, the Atlantic Sharks had a game that they will quickly want to learn from and then move on, only gaining 38 yards of offense in a 52-0 defeat at the hands of the Matanzas Pirates' lethal passing attack. But that was then, and this is now. The head coach, Chris Brown, will lead Atlantic back into the fray tonight, as against one of the most experienced teams the Sharks will face all season. That team is the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. Seabreeze is ready to make this season one to remember for their 21 senior players on their roster. They went 5-5 in 2019 under then new head coach Pat Brown after winning only one game each of the previous two seasons. The Sandcrabs will rely on a dominating defense to get the job done, as they have forced 5 turnovers in their first 2 games, including 2 that have been returned for touchdowns. However, Seabreeze struggled to contain University's dual-threat quarterback Adrian Figueroa last week, as he rushed for 111 yards and 3 touchdowns and added 178 yards to the air, giving Atlantic a potential blueprint for success tonight. Offensively, both the Sharks and the Sandcrabs look to accomplish similar things. Use the running game to set up the mid-range passing routes for their receivers and tight ends, and both teams have pass-first dual-threat quarterbacks who can do damage with their feet when forced to scramble. Now it's time to learn about the key players on the field. It's time for tonight's installment of Who to Listen For. Here are some of the names you'll be hearing over and over again throughout tonight's contest. For the Atlantic Sharks, let's take a look at the wide receiver and safety Draken Brown, the 6'3", 170-pound sophomore, emerged as quarterback John Killingsworth's main target last week against Matanzas. On defensive side of the ball, linebacker Michael Scalar. He is a senior. He is an emotional and physical leader of this football team at 6'3", 225 pounds. And running back Dennis Gaines will look to get most of the carries tonight for the Sharks and get their ground game going. For the Seabreeze Sandcrabs, let's take a look at linebacker and defensive end Colt Brown, the 6'2", 227-pound senior. Had 80 total tackles last season, 12 for loss, and 4 sacks. Also on the defensive side of the ball is cornerback Dimitri Campbell, the 5'9", 155-pound senior. He has 3 interceptions in Week 1 versus Deltona, and he leads Volusia and Flagler County in interceptions with 3. And on the offensive side of the ball, I was going to talk about Chris T.O. Lewis, the 6'1", 187-pound junior with offers from Iowa State and Central Michigan, but he is not in pads tonight, so we will be also looking at their running back, Amir Brown, his 5'11", 188-pound senior. And that is who to listen for. Also, the quarterbacks, both sophomore dual threats. For Seabreeze, it's Blake Boda. He's 11 of 32 for 157 yards with 1 touchdown this season. And for Atlantic, it's John Killingsworth, also a sophomore, 6'0", 157, an 0-1 record coming in the win last week. We do not have crowd noise tonight, but I will tell you it is time for the national anthem here at Daytona Stadium. So we will step aside for 30 seconds, and we'll be right back. This is Atlantic High School on MJT Sports Productions. The Seabreeze Band just did their rendition of the Star Spangled Banner. And now as we get closer to kickoff, it's time to look at tonight's keys to the game for the Atlantic Sharks. It's to rely on the legs of John Killingsworth. Some of the most successful plays for the Sharks last time out was when dual-threat quarterback was forced to scramble, and Seabreeze got torched by a running quarterback last Friday, so it will be up to the Atlantic coaching staff to follow in University's footsteps. Also for Atlantic, take care of that football. Short fields made life difficult for the Atlantic defense last week, and Seabreeze likes to turn the ball over on defense, so make sure to end each drive with a kick, be that a punt, field goal, or extra point. And for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs, they need to capitalize on their scoring chances. Seabreeze squandered an excellent chance to take control of their game against University last week when they failed to score after a turnover inside the red zone. We know that the Sandcrabs defense loves to take the ball away, and it will be up to the offense to put points on the board. As in front of me, way down on the field, the Sandcrabs have taken the field under their right end zone. They are wearing red helmets tonight, sky blue tops and white pants with white numbers and red trim. For the Atlantic Sharks, silver helmets, white jerseys, black pants. It is just about time to get underway for the 7th meeting between the Sandcrabs and the Sharks since 2004. Each team has won this contest 3 times. They played from 04 to 06, and there was an 11-year gap in games until 2017. Last season, Atlantic beat Seabreeze 28-0 at home. Seabreeze won the toss. They chose to defer to the second half. So on to kick for the Atlantic. The ball is placed at the 40-yard line. And I will get you numbers as best I can tonight. As I said, I am way up here. The kicker for Atlantic is Gary Thomas. He's got the ball on the tee at the 45-yard line. Deep to receive for Seabreeze is Dimitri Campbell, the 5'9" corner and safety. And dangerous in the return game as well. So, we are just about set to go. We thank you for joining me on this Thursday night edition of Atlantic High School Football on MJT Sports Productions. We are just about set to go. Put 12 minutes on the first quarter clock. Atlantic is ready. Seabreeze is ready. The scattered crowd here at Daytona Stadium is ready. The whistle blows, and it's game on. It's a squib kick and caught right at the 50-yard line. And that was Lucas Bockenstedt, the linebacker, who is the first person up for the Sandcrabs. So it will be incredible field position for the home team right off the bat as we get introduced to their starting quarterback, Blake Boda. Ball right at the midfield stripe. Seabreeze going left to right in their red helmets, light blue jerseys, and white pants. Boda in the gun, nobody behind him. Now one man comes in motions. He hands the ball from a jet sweep to the left-hand side. Tripped up and falling forward for 4 yards is Emir Brown, the running back. He will be the primary ball carrier. That's a gain of 4. And they'll give him 5 up to the 44-yard line. Sorry, the 45 of Atlantic. So first play in plus territory for Seabreeze comes on the second play of the game. Boda, man in motion again is Brown. This time he pulls it out. He rolls to his left. The softball fires over the middle. It's caught at the 40, to the 45, left side 30, and down to the 30-yard line. Rashad Troutman made the catch. He's the 175-pound junior and is up all the way to the 30-yard line. Third play from scrimmage on this opening drive of the game. Sandcrabs at the Atlantic 30-yard line. Boda in the gun. He takes the snap. He pitches it to Brown, who Brown runs left side, trying to get to the sideline. 30, 25, and pushed out of bounds at the 24-yard line. A combination of a couple Sharks made that tackle. Burt Plummer was first to the scene. And it'll be about an 8-yard pickup. Give him 7, actually, to the 23-yard line. They need the 20 for a first down. Second down and 3. 10 minutes 45 gone by first quarter. And the Sandcrabs easily moving the ball here early in this opening drive of the football game. The Sharks in their silver helmets, white jerseys, black pants, silver numbers, black and teal trim, defend the end zone to listeners' right. Boda in the gun. 3 receivers to the left. Single right. He takes the snap. He rolls to the left. It's a shovel pass up the middle to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. He's looking for the pylon. He's going to get there easily. Touchdown, Sandcrabs. And it's Trashad Troutman. His second catch of the drive comes on a little shovel pass underneath. The Sharks were not ready for it, and he scampers in for a 23-yard touchdown. So the Sandcrabs go 4 plays, 50 yards, and score the opening touchdown of the ballgame. On to kick is fantastic kicker Mac Chimento, known as the Shoe by Seabreeze broadcasters, who I was listening to last week to prepare for this game. And the kick is up, and it is good. 10 minutes and 19 seconds to go first half. It's Sandcrabs 7, Sharks nothing. Atlantic will get the ball next. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium, the home of the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. Sandcrabs on the board first after a 4-play, 50-yard drive ending in a 23-yard shovel pass touchdown to Trashad Troutman. And they have a 7-0 lead, 10 minutes 19 to go in the first quarter. It is an absolutely beautiful night here at the stadium. Mid-70s on the temperature, sun just dropping behind us. To my right, the sky a beautiful shade of orange with a few wispy clouds overhead. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday night edition of Atlantic High School football. And back to kick it away is Mac Chimento. He put most of his kicks last week against University through the end zone. He has got a massive leg, both as a kicker and a punter. Chimento is ready. He steps up, addresses the football, and it goes high in the air. It's going to fall short of the goal line at the 2, and Atlantic will return out to the 10, 15, straight ahead, looking for a lane to the 19-yard line, thrown down to the 20, and that is where Atlantic will start the football game. Alex Smith on the return. Now here's dual threat quarterback John Killingsworth, the sophomore for Atlantic. He leads the rest of his offensive comrades out onto the field. I will try and attempt to figure out who is at running back. The running back to start the game looks like Draken Brown, but they will go huddle. They're not in the formation yet. They will start at their own 20-yard line, working right to left across your radio dial in their white jerseys, silver helmets, black pants, silver numbers and black trim with teal trim as well. Sandcrabs, red helmets, sky blue jerseys, white pants, white numerals, and red trim down the pants. From the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Killingsworth in the gun. He steps up to change the play at the line. Now he sends a man in motion. Nobody back there with him anymore. 5 wide. He steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to roll backwards. He's going to be taken down back at the 11-yard line. It's a huge sack for the Sandcrabs. Number 34. And I don't have a 34 on my roster for Seabreeze, but he got back there in a hurry as the offensive line for Atlantic went out to dinner. It will be second down in a mighty long way. Give it 21 yards as that was a 9 or 11-yard loss all the way back to the 9-yard line. So second down and 21. Atlantic will huddle up again. They like to run this slow, methodical huddle offense. 9:26 to go in the opening quarter. Clock stops. And we will take a timeout on the field. We'll take 1-2. It's 7-0 Sandcrabs. You're listening to Atlantic High School football on MJT Sports Productions. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium. The Seabreeze defense now marching back out onto the field after a 11-yard sack on the first play from scrimmage. It will be 2nd down and 21 for the Sharks from the 9-yard line. Killingsworth in the gun. He takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. He's going to roll backwards into the end zone. He's going to fire it incomplete as he was being dragged down from behind. Once again, the defense from the Seabreeze Sandcrabs got in there. Perry Williams came on a safety blitz and almost got him back for a safety. The pass will go incomplete, and it will be 3rd down and 21 from the 9-yard line. Third down and 21 from the 9-yard line. Killingsworth, two receivers to each side, and a man on his hip in the backfield. He is in the shotgun formation. Now he steps up to change the play. We have no play clock here, so I can only assume it's close to running out. Now Killingsworth takes the snap. He's going to load up, fire deep down the field. He's got a man running free. It's going to be intercepted. It was into double coverage and picked off on the far sideline at the 39-yard line for Seabreeze. Eli Campbell, the quarterback, picked it off. And once again, as with last week, it's going to be short fields for the opposition early as the 2 drives for the Sandcrabs have started from the 50 and now the 39 of Atlantic. Atlantic Sports Network. First play from scrimmage is a run right up the middle for Amir Brown, the cousin of head coach Pat Brown. Gains 3 yards right up the middle to the 36-yard line. Second down and 8 after the gain of 2. From the 36-yard line, Seabreeze will spread out with 1 receiver wide to the left, almost touching the sidelines each side, 2 in the backfield. Here's the fake to handoff. Boda rolls to his left. Now under pressure, he's going to scramble to the 35, to the 30. He's going to stretch the ball towards the first down marker, and he will make it there. No, they're going to spot him just short at the 31-yard line. And it will be a yard short, 3rd down and 1. They need to get just across the 30 to, let's say, the 29.5 for a first down. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Sandcrabs up 7 with the football. At the 31-yard line, facing down 3rd down and 1. Handoff, Brown up the middle, slicing his way to the left side, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, the 5. He's got the speed. Touchdown, Seabreeze. Three plays, 41 yards and a 39 yards rather, and a touchdown for the Sandcrabs. So quickly behind 13-0 are the Atlantic Sharks. And Amir Brown showed off some amazing speed there on the run. All he had to do was beat one man. That was Michael Scalar, had him one-on-one in the hole on the left side. And he did a little jump cut to the left and scampered away for a Seabreeze touchdown. 7:50 to go here in the first half. In first quarter, rather. On for the kick, Mac Chimento. The holder is Eli Campbell. The long snapper is Nathan Boyd. Snap is down. Hold is good. Kick is away, and it is good. So with 7 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the first quarter, it's the Sandcrabs 14, the Sharks nothing. This is Atlantic Sports on MJT Sports Productions. Back at Daytona Stadium, this is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. I'm Michael Twillo. Thank you for joining me. 7:50 to go first quarter. Sandcrabs 14, Sharks nothing after two quick touchdowns set up by good field position. The opening kickoff was fielded at the 50-yard line, and then 4 plays, 50 yards, a passing touchdown on their first drive. Then the Sharks went 2 plays and then an interception, 2 plays and then an interception. And then Seabreeze started at the Atlantic 39-yard line and then went 3 plays and a 39 yards for the touchdown. Kickoff by Mac Cimento goes all the way through the end zone. The Sharks will start at their 20 for the second time in a row. 7:50 to go first quarter. As the official healthcare champion of Volusia County Schools, Advent Health is committed to providing championship-caliber care with 4 hospitals, 4 urgent care centers, 6 sports med and rehab locations across Volusia County. Advent Health is here to keep your student-athlete off the sidelines and get them back in the game. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Atlantic back on offense. Quarterback John Killingsworth is out there. The running back right now is Richard Ballard. He got the majority of the snaps last week at running back. This ball spotted at the near side left hash. Atlantic going right to left. They start at the 20-yard line. Killingsworth under center. Now he backs up into the shotgun formation. 2 receivers on either side. There were 5 down linemen. Now one of them backs off to be a linebacker. Snap to Killingsworth. Pressure coming. He gets the pass away. Hit as he throws. It's incomplete over the head of his intended receiver, and the intended receiver would have been gone all the way down the field if he had hung on to that ball. It was a little bit overthrown. I'm still looking to see who the receiver was all the way down there. It was just Isaiah Davenport. So now that pass goes incomplete. Second down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Killingsworth this time is under center. Handoff goes to Ballard looking for running room. He won't find it. He gets to the 20-yard line and falls to the 20.5-yard line. No gain on the play, and if anything, a half yard. The Seabreeze defense stood him up. Stephen Taylor, the linebacker, was first in on the tackle. Glenn Hill was also down there. He's the left tackle. So now it will be 3rd down and 10. Atlantic still has not gone forward in this football game. 7 minutes and 7 seconds to go in the first half. From the 20-yard line, they'll once again go 2 receivers each side. Killingsworth in the gun. Ballard next to him. Seabreeze shows pressure, and a flag comes down all the way back at the 40, thrown by the back judge. And they'll get Atlantic for a penalty. It'll be false start. So that'll move them back to the 15-yard line, making this 3rd down and 10 into a 3rd down and 15. Got to get to the 30 for a first down. They're set up at their own 15-yard line after the penalty. 6:52 to go in the first quarter. Killingsworth in the gun, takes the snap. Pressure comes off the edge. He's forced to scramble to his left. He launches it deep down the middle of the field. He's got a man. It's off the hands of his intended receiver, Alex Smith. And once again, if Smith hangs on to that, he's gone because he has about 5 yards of separation to the nearest Sandcrab defender. The cornerback watching him all the way, just a little bit behind him, was Chad Pezza. Excuse me, that's Eli Campbell. But it will be a 3 and out. And now on to punt for Atlantic is Dakari Bolden. The returner for Seabreeze is generously almost up at the 40-yard line. That punt goes almost straight up in the air. It's going to bounce and take a Seabreeze bounce to the Atlantic 24-yard line, and that's where it will be downed. So the punt goes officially, it's spotted at the 23, so it goes 7 yards on the punt from Bolden. And Seabreeze will be in excellent field position once again. Quarterback Blake Boda, he wears number 12. He trots out to the field along with the rest of the Seabreeze offense. Tashad Troutman has a touchdown. Amir Brown has a touchdown. Brown the rushing. Troutman the receiving on a shovel pass, which gives the Sandcrabs their 14-0 lead. 6:33 to go. Here's a handoff. Brown running to the right side. He skips past. He cuts back into the middle of the field. He shakes off a tackle. He gets to the 10-yard line. He's pushing the pile all the way down to the 9-yard line. And now Seabreeze are set up 1st and goal from the 9 after the running play. And a timeout will be called, or at least all the Sandcrabs are rushing over towards the bench, and Atlantic is too. So if they're taking a timeout, we will as well. Sandcrabs 1st and goal when we come back. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium. Sandcrabs with a 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. The stoppage was for a down player. That player was 22 for Atlantic, Jandre Bevel. And now 1st down and 9. I formation for Seabreeze. 3 receivers split out wide to the right. It's going to be a pass play to the single receiver far side. He makes the catch at his feet. He falls forward to the 4-yard line. A flag does fly. So we will see what the flag is. Seabreeze not really all that good when it comes to taking penalties. Has hurt them both in their win against Deltona to open the season and in their loss to University last week. Had 3 touchdowns pulled back in week 1 because of penalties, and it looks like Seabreeze is backing up. They're going to get the Sandcrabs for an illegal player downfield, so that will back the Sandcrabs up. They had 1st and goal at the 9. And it'll be a 5-yard penalty, so that'll put them at 1st and goal at the 14-yard line. A little bit of cushion now for the Sharks defense. All 4 receivers right close to the line, 2 each side. Pitch to Amir Brown off the right hash. He tries to get to the sideline. He does. Bounces off a tackle to the 10, and he's ripped out of bounds at the 5-yard line. And Amir Brown is torching the Atlantic defense early. He's got aggressive speed to the sidelines, and when he turns upfield, he makes a little bit of a plant with his right foot and then just cuts upfield and changes direction really quickly. So now it's 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. Gain of 9 on the run for Brown as he swept left to right. 5 minutes even to go first quarter. Sandcrabs looking to add to their 14-0 lead. Snap by Boda. Brown makes a jump cut in the backfield, and he is going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, and not a lot more. He'll fall forward to the 4-yard line. In on the tackle is Jacob Williams for Atlantic. He led the way along with a host of other white jerseys. Now 3rd down and goal. Atlantic looking to stop the bleeding here early. Already down 14-0. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go as the clock runs as Atlantic tries to make some substitutions. Boda goes to the sideline to get the play from head coach Pat Brown. Now he goes back to the huddle. Trayshawn Gallery, the wide receiver. 4 seconds to go. Now they're just getting up to the line. 1 second, and it looks like Pat Brown took a timeout to stop the clock. And Seabreeze does indeed take a timeout. Do you want to get your business on the air in front of the Atlantic fans? If you would like to advertise via MJT Sports Productions, our official play-by-play internet radio partner, as a sponsor of Atlantic Athletics, please email the Atlantic High School Athletic Director, Tron Griffin, at tdgriffy@volusia.k12.fl.us. Again, that's TDGRIFFI at volusia.k12.fl.us, and your company could be on the air with the Atlantic Sharks. Time out of the field. We'll take a short break as well. You're listening to Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. At Daytona Stadium, the Sandcrabs of Seabreeze with a 14-0 lead over the Atlantic Sharks as they get ready for this 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line. Ball spotted at the right hash mark. Boda in the gun. One man goes in motion. Boda takes a low snap. He throws to the far side as a receiver open in the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown. It's Matthew Bossett, the tight end. And the Sandcrabs have opened up the lead. It's now 20-0. That drive, 5 plays, 23 yards, hampered by 2 penalties, but they got there in the end. Or, excuse me, a penalty and then a timeout because the clock was about to run out of the play. On for the extra point is Mac Cimento, getting used to kicking from the 10-yard line tonight. Seabreeze trying to run a player on late as Maddox Bovey is sprinting up to the line. Now he gets set. And the play clock hits 0. They got the snap off in time. The kick is up, and it is good. 4 minutes, 3 seconds to go first quarter. It's Sandcrabs 21, Sharks nothing. This is MJT Sports Productions, your home of your Atlantic Sharks. Live from Daytona Stadium in Daytona Beach, Florida, the hometown Seabreeze Sandcrabs have jumped out to a 21-0 lead over the Atlantic Sharks. It is 4 minutes and 3 seconds to go first quarter. I'm Michael Trillo. Thank you for joining us on this gorgeous Thursday evening, rather. It is 7:25 p.m. here on the East Coast. Mac Cimento getting ready to kick the ball off again. He's got it placed at the 40-yard line. His first kick dropped at about the 3, was returned to the 20. His second kick went all the way through the end zone and was unreturnable. Cimento steps forward, addresses the ball with the right leg. He kicks it way deep in the end zone, and that one will go for a touchback. So out to the 20-yard line will come the Atlantic Sharks. Atlantic fans, MJT Sports Productions is now the official play-by-play home of your Atlantic Sharks. Be sure to like our Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Twitter, all at MJT Sports Productions. And never miss a moment of the action. Let's go, Sharks. Four minutes and 3 seconds to go. Atlantic will start at their own 20-yard line after the kickoff went through the end zone by Cimento. Ball spotted at the left hash. Atlantic goes right to left here in this first quarter. Alone in the backfield is Killingsworth. He claps his hands once and now twice. Now he sends a man in motion, takes the snap. It's going to be a jet sweep up to the, trying to turn the corner and hit in the backfield and dropped all the way back at the 12-yard line. The jet sweep was to Draken Brown. And Brown, loss of 8. Excuse me, that last carry was Nate Davis, not Draken Brown, as he came across the formation to take the jet sweep left to right. Again, the Seabreeze defense is pinning back their ears and getting into the backfield. Another loss of yards on first down for Atlantic. Clock runs 3:17 to play first quarter. And now a flag comes in. Again from the back judge. Let's see what this is. And they're going to get Atlantic for a delay of game, which will back them up even further. And the ball will go all the way back to the 7-yard line. They need the 30 for a first down. That's a 2nd and 27 after both the loss of yards on the jet sweep and the penalty, which was a delay of game. Now from the 7-yard line, Killingsworth with one man in the backfield. He takes the snap. He throws a pitch, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Richard Ballard, who was out of the backfield. And it will be 3rd down and 27. Third down and 23, rather, as my math evades me. They're on the 7. They need to get to the 30. There's been a couple of long passes from Killingsworth that have almost connected. One to Alex Smith and one to Gary Thomas, or Nate Davis, rather, that probably would have gone for touchdowns. But now on 3rd and long, Killingsworth loads up. He fires into double coverage, and it's over the head of everybody, including the intended receiver, Alex Smith, who was on that go route down the near left-hand sideline again. And now it will be 4th and 23. So the punter is out again for Atlantic. He stands 5 yards deep in his own end zone. And that is Dakari Bolden doing the punting for Atlantic. The return man is standing at the Atlantic 30-yard line. Another penalty flag flies, and it's going to back him up further. Looks like another delay of game as the play clock ran out. It will indeed be a delay of game. So back him up. Back him up to the 2-yard line. And Bolden will be punting from just in front of the back of his own end zone. Snap is away. Bolden gets the punt away. This one is better. It falls, caught at the 30-yard line. The receiver is at the 25, and he's spun down at the 22-yard line. On the return was Dimitri Campbell for the Sandcrabs. Another short field for Seabreeze as they will start from their own 22-yard line. So Seabreeze now back out on the field. And it looks like it'll be a direct snap to Amir Brown as he's in the backfield. He does take the snap. He bobbles it, and he's just going to fall on it back at the 27-yard line. A flag flies late behind the play. And they're going to get Seabreeze for a false start, so that play wouldn't have gone anywhere anyway. It'll be first down and 15 for the Sandcrabs. So now first down and 15 for the Sandcrabs. They're spotted at the 26-yard line of Atlantic. Amir Brown is in for the direct snap to the running back. He calls for it, takes the snap again low on the turf, but he picks it up, runs to the left, tries to find a blocker, and he's going to get to the 25, pushes the pile to the 20, and all the way down to the 20-yard line. And Amir Brown, who last season for South Brunswick High School in New Jersey had 394 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground. He now takes direct snaps. That was how Seabreeze scored their only touchdown last week in a 26-7 loss. Brown on the direct snap from the 20, and he falls forward to the 15-yard line. That would have been a first down and 10 play. So now it will be second down and 5. Oh, excuse me. Remember the penalty. So it'll be third down and 5. And let's see if they bring Boda on now. They will. The quarterback, the southpaw sophomore. Haven't seen him run yet, but he has an ability to run. Minute 49 to go here in the first quarter. It's Sandcrabs 21, Atlantic Sharks nothing. Third down and about 4 yards to go. Ball spotted on the 15-yard line. And they're going to get Atlantic. And they're going to get Atlantic for a personal foul. I did not see who it was on. Neither did the referee announce who it was on. So it's going to be first down and goal from the 8-yard line for the Sandcrabs. Blake Boda is back in. He takes the low snap. He rolls to his left. He's going to be chased back to the 20, but he escapes pressure. He's to the 10, and he's going to be rolled outside, out of bounds, chased out by Ajon McDuffie. And it will be a gain of, if it is a gain, it's going to be less than 1. Looks like he got back to the original line of scrimmage and not much more. He ran a long way, Boda did, as he was chased immediately by McDuffie, who came right through and put the pressure on him. And now on second down and goal, they bring in a heavier package of linemen. Only a single receiver each side. They'll run a 2 tight end set left. Or right, rather. Snap, handoff, Brown, right through the middle. Nobody touched him. He's going to walk into the end zone for a Sandcrab touchdown. They bring in the run-heavy package, and it works to perfection. Four plays, 22 yards, and a touchdown for the Sandcrabs. And we have not left the first quarter, and it is 27-0. And Mac Chimento is on for the extra point. His 4th attempt of the quarter. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 1 minute and 30 to go first quarter, it's Sandcrabs 27, Sharks nothing. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Production. Stay with us. Back at Daytona Stadium, home of the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. It's been all Seabreeze so far. They lead 28-0. We're not even out of the first quarter yet. 1:30 left to go in the first. I'm Michael Duetto. Thank you for joining me on MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic High School football. Our second game of the season, we started last week out at Matanzas up in Flagler, and now we are here at the home of the Sandcrabs. This is definitely the largest stadium that Atlantic will play football in this year. 15,000 as the kickoff by Chumento goes out of the back of the end zone. It will be a 20-yard line for Atlantic for the fourth straight time. All 4 drives for Atlantic have started from their own 20-yard line. 3 of them have been because of touchbacks, and one of them, the opening kickoff of the game, was because of a running back. Not the opening kickoff of the game, the first kickoff kicked to Atlantic. We've seen Atlantic almost be successful on a couple of long passes, 3 of them. 1 to Nate Davis, 2 to Alex Smith, and one of them, the second one to Alex Smith, he was gone for a touchdown, but it just bounced off his hands. Killingsworth back out there with the rest of the Atlantic offense, working right to left in this first quarter. From the 20-yard line, Seabreeze shows pressure. Man goes in motion. Snap to Killingsworth. He rolls right. He throws. It's complete on the far sideline to the 30, to the 35, and down to the 37-yard line. An excellent little bubble screen play on first down gives the Sharks their first down of the game. And a Shark is down. It was the receiver, Nate Davis, who picked up the screen after coming across the formation before the snap. And when we come back, the Sharks will be at the 39-yard line. And as there is a man down on the field, we'll take a quick break and be right back. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. It will be first down and 10 for the first time for Atlantic of their own volition in this ball game, as they move the chains all the way up from the 20 to the 37 is where they'll spot the ball after a first down bubble screen to Nate Davis, who subsequently left the game with an injury and has not come back in. First down and 10 for the 37. Sharks looking to respond after being down early. 28-0. 1 minute and counting left to go in the first quarter. Killingsworth rolls out, throws. It's caught off a deflection at the 50 and down inside Seabreeze territory. A flag flies late. That was Mason Tandy, the senior wide receiver. He bobbled it to himself at the 45-yard line. He leaped over a defender, brought it down, and then scampered up the field for 10 more yards. And this may be coming back, though, as the Atlantic Sharks are converging about at their own 40. And they're going to call holding on Atlantic. So wipe out the tremendous athletic play by Tandy. And so instead of a first down and 10, it will be a first down and 20. Ball spotted all the way back at the 30. Oh, no, they're going to give him the gain, and then they're going to negate it. I'm not sure what the penalty was. So they give him the gain all the way up to the 47-yard line. And then they spotted the foul. So it will be first down. No, it will be first down and 6 yards to go after the penalty. And Atlantic takes their second timeout of the half. We'll take it with them. We'll sort this out, take a timeout, be right back. This is MJT Sports Productions broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Back at Daytona Stadium, a big thank you to Chris Boyle, who just told me that it was a block in the back penalty, so they'll keep the yardage, but move them back. So it'll be 1st down and 6 for the Sharks at their own 41-yard line. Looking across the 50 for the first time in the game. One man goes in motion left to right. It's going to be a quarterback keeper all the way. Killingsworth to the 45 to the 50. He's got space, and he's going to be dragged down by his shoestrings at the 48-yard line of Seabreeze. So, Atlantic into Seabreeze territory for the first time. It's the first play of the game we've seen Killingsworth run. He has an ability to run, and the best plays last week from Atlantic were when Killingsworth scrambled. Never got into the end zone last week, but he did pick up a couple of nice 15-yard gains towards the end of the ball game against Matanzas. And that will be the end of the first quarter. Your score, Sandcrabs 28, Sharks nothing. We'll be back for the second quarter of play. This is MJT Sports Productions' broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football. Stay with us. Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. Man goes in motion. That's Tandy. Killingsworth under center. Hands the ball off right up the middle. And still fighting for yardage. Gaining 1 before he is brought down is Richard Ballard, the running back. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 for Atlantic from the Seabreeze 47. And Atlantic goes all the way back almost to their 40 to huddle up and get the play. Killingsworth jogs back from the sideline where he receives the play from head coach Chris Brown. My name is Michael Tribello. Thank you for joining me on this gorgeous Thursday evening for high school football on MJT Sports Productions. The Sandcrabs lead the Atlantic Sharks 28-0. We are just inside the second quarter of play. It'll be 2nd down and 9. 5 on the play clock. Man in motion. Killingsworth takes the snap, looks to throw, throws deep down the middle into one-on-one coverage, and it is incomplete. And no flag either against Seabreeze. All the way down there at the 20-yard line was where the ball came down. And I'm trying to figure out who the receiver was. He's got his shoulders turned to me at the moment. It was intended for Alex Smith. And marshaling him all the way for Seabreeze was Eli Campbell. Campbell, the sophomore cornerback, stands 5'11", 168. He also returns kicks for the Sandcrabs. And remember, Seabreeze doing this all tonight. I'll get to my point after this. 3rd down and 9. Killingsworth in the gun, 4 receivers to aim at. Seabreeze shows blitz. Now they back off. And now they bring the pressure. Killingsworth has to scramble. He rolls to his right to evade. He looks downfield. He throws it. It's complete to the 40, to the 35, and down to the 34-yard line. It'll be a 1st down. Mason Tandy again with the grab. The long, athletic senior receiver makes the Sandcrab defense pay for the blitz, and it'll move the chains again for the Sandcrabs. It will be 1st and 10 right at the 35-yard line. So Atlantic finding a little bit of room in the passing game here in the second quarter and also late in the first, as this drive started with a minute 20 to go back in the first quarter, and now 10 minutes and 27 seconds and counting to go in the second. From the 35-yard line, just inside, give him the 34. Snap to Killingsworth. He's going to keep it himself, run up the middle to the 30 and dive forward to the 29-yard line. Nice pickup on first down for Killingsworth, who's shown his ability to run up the middle. They've run that draw for him a couple of times. And it will be a gain of 5 to the 29-yard line, second down of 5. And so now it'll be second down and 5 from the 29-yard line of Seabreeze. Killingsworth in the gun. Ballard to his right. He takes the snap. He looks to throw. Now he's going to run. A flag comes in. The ball pops out as Killingsworth went to the ground. And Seabreeze dives on it. At the 25-yard line, the Sandcrabs will pick it up. Terrence Robinson fell on the football. And we'll see what the penalty flag is. So if it's against Atlantic, I think Seabreeze will have the football. As we are waiting for confirmation from the white hat referee, now he faces the crowd. It's a chop block against Atlantic. So Atlantic all right, so it'll be a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. That'll move the Sharks all the way back to the 45-yard line, but it will still be second down. Now second down and long. Killingsworth takes the snap. Here comes the blitz. He gets nailed as he lets the football go. The quarterback fell down, but the ball was over the head of Alex Smith at the 15-yard line. And it will be third down and long at the 45. Need to get past the 24-yard line of Atlantic. So it'll be about a 21-yard to get a first down on 3rd and 21. I'm telling you, one of these passes from Killingsworth long down the sidelines is going to connect. They've been so close, they've now run that play 4 times. Atlantic huddles up near their own 40-yard line. Ball spotted at the 45-yard line of Seabreeze. Atlantic in their silver helmets, white jerseys, black pants, hustle up to the line. They've only got 3 seconds on the play clock. Killingsworth calls for the ball. It's fumbled on the play. They tried to move a man in motion. The man in motion was Alex Smith. It hit Smith, and it hit Smith on its way to Killingsworth as they had to get the snap off because there was no time on the play clock. Atlantic recovers, but it will be 4th down and long, and an ignominious end to what looked like a very promising drive for the Atlantic Sharks. And on to punt is Deandre Bevel. He stands at his own 42-yard line. Back deep for the Sandcrabs is Eli Campbell. Bevel, the punt. This is a good one. It's going to back Campbell up, and he drops the football at the 10-yard line. He picks it up. He's going to run to the 15, scampers near side 20, gets a block 25, 30, a flag flies 40. It looks like he's going to be gone. It's actually Amandre Willis with the football. He's going to run to the 15, the 10, the 5. He's into the end zone. There are a litany of flags. I can count at least 3, one at the 20, one at the 30, and one near the 50-yard line, so I don't think this one is going to stand. There were multiple blocks that just decleated Atlantic players, and we will see what the referee has to say about it. We are waiting for the official signal. It looks like they're going to bring the ball all the way back. We are still waiting for the referee's decision. All 4 officials are huddled right at the Seabreeze 35-yard line, straight in front of my broadcast position. And about 100 feet down, it feels like. And now we're about to get the call from the referee. As they're still conferring with the rest of his crew, he gets a flag back. Here's the call. It'll be a blindside block against Seabreeze, half the distance to the goal. So Seabreeze will start with the football after the return for a touchdown was negated by a penalty all the way back at their own 10-yard line. Boda in the game. He's got Amir Brown to his left and 2 receivers to each side. Here comes the pressure from Atlantic. Boda feels it, throws a long pass down the middle of the field. It's caught at the 40-yard line and then dragged down is Trevon Phillips at the 43, give him the 42-yard line. Noah Anderson did a fantastic job, along with Bert Plummer, to make sure that Phillips did not scamper away for a touchdown. 1st and 10 for the Sandcrabs from the 40. Boda takes the snap, under pressure, escapes to his left. He fires deep down the field. It's caught at the 30-yard line again by Trevon Phillips, rather. And it was an athletic catch, and he used 1 foot as sort of an acrobatic catch to stay in bounds on the near sideline. And it will be all the way inside the Atlantic 25, so moving quickly here. They've gone almost 70 yards in 2 plays. And Atlantic will take a timeout. We'll take one too. It's Sandcrabs 28, Sharks nothing, with 7:31 to go in the first half. This is Atlantic Football on MJT Sports Productions. Seven minutes and 31 seconds to go in the first half. Seabreeze with a 28-0 lead over the Atlantic Sharks with 7 minutes 31 seconds to go in the opening half. Seabreeze with a 1st down and 10 after going nearly 80 yards in 2 plays. They started this drive at their own 10-yard line. 2 long pass plays have got them to the 23 of Atlantic. Here's a handoff. Amir Brown right side looking for a lane. Won't find one. He's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3 yards. Jacob Williams got back there to make the stop. And it will be 2nd down and 13 for the Sandcrabs. Excellent defensive play as he did not let the very speedy Amir Brown cut back up the field. Boda calls for the football, takes a low snap, feels pressure off the edge, rolls right away from it. He throws with his left hand across his body, and the pass goes incomplete. He was looking for Matthew Bossett at about the 10-yard line, but there was no way he was going to get his body turned around to throw that ball. The lefty had to roll to his right as he faced immediate pressure from the Sharks' defensive line, rather. It will be 3rd down and 13 for the Sandcrabs. They are on the Atlantic 28-yard line. This would be huge for Atlantic to get a stop here. Boda takes the snap. He fumbles the snap and then falls on it immediately. So Atlantic will get that stop. He fell all the way back to the 31-yard line. And let's see if they trot on Mac Cimento to try a long field goal. They will do so. Cimento can hit these from a mile as long. I unfortunately don't have his long this season, but he can hit him. This will be a 48-yard attempt for Chimento. The ball spotted at the far right-hand hash. He's shooting at the left goalposts. The snap is good. The kick is short. It landed at about the 2-yard line. So Chimento misses the field goal. And Atlantic, after giving up almost 80 yards in 2 plays to begin the drive, they will hold. And it's Chimento's second straight game with a missed field goal. He missed one from relative chip shot range early in the game against University last week. And I talked about it right off the top of the broadcast about Seabreeze trying to capitalize on their opportunities. For the most part, they have done so brilliantly, obviously. They have a 28-0 lead. As the water break is called down on the field, we'll keep it right here. Sharks fans, the Atlantic High School home football game versus Halifax Academy on October 23rd. The location has changed. That game will now be played at the Ormond Beach Sports Complex. It will be at 7 p.m. This will be homecoming and senior night for the Sharks. We look forward to seeing you all there. And if you can't be there, of course, you can listen to us right here on MJT Sports Productions, your home for Atlantic Sharks football. Advent Health is here for you and with you during every touchdown, timeout, and every season to support you physically, mentally, and spiritually in this game called life. Advent Health is on your team, and they're your biggest fan. They're here to help you feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. A little bit of background on our opponents tonight. The Seabreeze Sandcrabs, the high school home of longtime NFL kicker Sebastian Janikowski. Also, Pro Bowler Eric Weems played his high school football here, as well as former Oregon standout Charles Nelson. And Charles Nelson and I actually went to school together, as I am a graduate of Seabreeze High School. We are just about to get set and go back to playing football. Atlantic with the ball on the Sandcrab 20-yard line. Let's hope they can continue the momentum that they have showed in their previous drive, as they went 6 plays and moved all the way down the field. Killingsworth moves to his right, throws deep down the middle of the field at a double coverage, and it's picked off. Run back to the 45, to the 40, left side 30. He has a lane 20 and bumped out of bounds at the 15-yard line. That is an interception for Eli Campbell. His second interception of the game. He picked off Killingsworth on the first drive of the game, and he picks him off here. As Killingsworth was trying to hit Alex Smith down the middle of the field, he was in double coverage, and it was easy pickings for Campbell to pick him off. Now Seabreeze back on offense. They get him all the way down at the Atlantic 15-yard line. 5:49 to go in the first half. Blake Boda in the game at quarterback. The running back is Amir Brown. He's going to hand it to Brown right up the middle. He looks for a lane. He finds a lane to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Seabreeze. Just like that, Amir Brown, his third touchdown of the half. And it is 35-0, Sandcrabs. Well, it's 34-0, but Chimento has been excellent on his extra points so far. He is out there now, ball spotted at the 10-yard line for the extra point. The snap is good. The hold is a little late, but it is good, and the kick is good. So with 5 minutes and 39 seconds to go first half, it's now 35-0. Sandcrabs over the Sharks. We'll take a short break, and the Sharks have the football. When we come back, you're listening to Atlantic Football on MJT Sports Productions. back at Daytona Stadium, Daytona Beach, Florida, the Seabreeze Sandcrabs have opened up a 35-0 lead over the Atlantic Sharks. That last drive, one play and a 15-yard rushing touchdown, the third of the game for Amir Brown, who went to high school in New Jersey last year, did very well at South Brunswick High School. Rushed for 5 touchdowns and 394 yards. Mac Jumento to kick off right to left for the Sandcrabs. It is in the air and all the way through the end zone once again for a touchback. So we'll start, the Atlantic Sharks will start at the 20-yard line for the 5th time in the ball game. Every single drive Atlantic has started there with 5 minutes and 39 seconds on the clock. That last drive for Seabreeze only took 10 seconds. Now, coming up at halftime, we will be going over the new state playoff regulations that were released this week by the FHSAA. We'll be covering those in depth. We'll be taking a look at the scoring breakdown as well. That's coming up in about 5.5 minutes, as there's 5:39 to go on the first half clock. Atlantic at their own 20-yard line, going left to right. They wear silver helmets, white jerseys, black pants with silver numerals, and black and teal trim. Killingsworth is under center. Tandy in motion across the formation, and Killingsworth fumbles the snap. He dives on it for a 1-yard loss, or 2-yard loss back at the 18-yard line. And another miscue in the backfield. That's the second one here in this quarter. As earlier on a promising drive to start the quarter, Mason Tandy came in motion left to right. And it was a little bit of a miscommunication on the snap because he ran right into the ball as it was being snapped. We now cross under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Atlantic steps up to the line. Second down and 12 at the 18-yard line for the Sharks. Sandcrabs with only 3 down linemen and 3 linebackers. 4 wideouts for Atlantic. Killingsworth takes the snap. He throws over the middle. It's tipped and incomplete. It was right in the breadbasket of Mason Tandy, but it was off his hands and incomplete. Now 3rd down and 12. And I've mentioned it a couple times tonight, but I will say it again. It is coming. The offense is coming for this Atlantic team. They've been so close on a bunch of passes downfield. There have been 4 that have been almost caught for big gains. One of them just right off the hands of Alex Smith in the first quarter. That pass play right there to Mason Tandy. And you saw it on that one drive, end of the first half, beginning of the second half, as they went 5 plays all the way into Seabreeze territory. They ended up punting because of a penalty, and then the miscue that I mentioned earlier with Tandy on the jet sweep. But it shows flashes of promise for this Atlantic team. Now 3rd down and 12. Killingsworth under center. And we'll have a false start as the right guard moved. That was Robert Pohl who moved for the Sharks. It'll back him up to the 12-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 17. Look for one of these long bombs to either Smith or Tandy. Smith motions across the formation. It's going to be a handoff up the middle on 3rd and long to Ballard. And Richard Ballard is brought down at the 16-yard line. It's only a gain of 3. And out comes Jandre Bevel to once again do the punting. Back deep to receive the kick for Seabreeze. There's going to be 2 of them back there. They've got their shoulders squared to me right now, so I can't tell who they are. It's going to be Eli Campbell, who eventually is back deep to receive. And by deep, I mean standing at the Atlantic 40-yard line. Bevel gets the punt away under heavy pressure. It's a nice punt fielded at the 45, up to the 40, 35-30, running straight up the middle into a crowd of Atlantic defenders, and it will be once again fantastic field position for the Sandcrabs. They will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Atlantic 27-yard line. So 3:44 to go in the opening quarter. Seabreeze will have the ball at the 27-yard line. Here comes the offense rumbling out onto the field for the Sandcrabs. There's one receiver split all the way down to the numbers to the near side. That's Trevon Phillips, their deep play threat. Boda motions Amir Brown from his right to his left, now back to his left, and a flag flies as the play clock ran out. There's been a couple of those on both sides tonight. The play clock is clearly marked on two very tall boards on each end of the stadium. A little bit of miscommunication on the snap. There have been a bunch of rush snaps, a couple of penalties for delay of game. Now 1st and 15. Boda, the southpaw, forced to move in the pocket. Now he scrambles to the 30, to the left side, 35-20, and rumbles out of bounds, runs into the chain man, close to the first down marker. We'll see where they spot him. And they will spot him 2 yards short of the line to gain. So that'll be a 13-yard pickup. And ball spotted on the 20-yard line. Need to get down to the 17 for a first down. And a timeout has been taken. We'll take 1-2. It's Sandcrabs 35, Sharks nothing, with 3:21 to go in the first half. You're listening to Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Three minutes and 21 seconds to go in the first half. Sandcrabs have a 35-0 lead. And a 2nd down and 3 at the Atlantic 20. Boda in the gun, takes the snap at his feet, rolls to his left, looking, now takes off. He splits 2 defenders to the 15, 10, 5. Nobody's going to touch Blake Boda. Touchdown, Sandcrabs. Blake Boda scampers in his first rushing touchdown of the year. There is a down Atlantic player in the backfield. Third time we've had an Atlantic player down today. And right now there's a bunch of athletic trainers around him, so I cannot see who that is. But Seabreeze has gone to Mill on the sideline before the extra point. They lead 41-0, potentially 42 after this extra point. And we will step aside until this injury is dealt with. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Welcome back. The injured Shark on the play was lineman Caesar McCoy. He is being helped to the sideline. In the meantime, Mac Chimento is back on to kick. This will be his 5th extra point attempt of the game. He did miss his 1 field goal attempt from 48 yards out. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is good. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go first quarter. It is 42-0. Seabreeze over Atlantic. We'll be back in a minute. This is Atlantic Football on MJT Sports Productions. Mac Chimento has the ball, the tee for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. They wear red helmets, light blue jerseys, white pants, white numerals, red trim. He will be kicking off from left to right. Back deep to receive for the Sharks is Alex Smith. The ball is in the air. It's going to be short and returnable from the 7-yard line up to the 15, 20, straight ahead, gets a block, 25. Flags fly, still on his feet to the 30, to the 35, and falls down to the 37-yard line. Nice return for Alex Smith, but I do not think it's going to stand. There is a flag on the field. It was thrown by the judge all the way on the near side. That's the Seabreeze Sandcrab sideline, rather. And we will check the penalty. Here is the white hat. Block in the back on Atlantic. So 10 yards from the spot of the foul, block in the back. Atlantic from the 37 goes all the way back to the 25, and that's where they'll have the football. 2 minutes 57 left in the first half. Killingsworth under center. He hands the ball off to Ballard right up the middle, and Ballard gets stuffed. Gain of only 1. Want to get your business on the air in front of Atlantic fans? If you would like to advertise via MJT Sports Productions, our official play-by-play internet radio partner, as a sponsor of Atlantic Athletics, please email Atlantic Athletic Director Tron Griffin at tdgriffy@volusia.k12.fl.us. That's TDGRIFFI at volusia.k12.fl.us. Gain of 1 after the run by Richard Ballard. It will be 2nd down and 9 for the Sharks. From their own 26-yard line, Killingsworth this time will line up in the gun. Now he walks forward to the under center position. 2 receivers split out wide each side, 1 on the far side, all the way touching the sideline, basically. It's a handoff to Ballard up the middle, and he's going to fall forward for another yard. Give him 2 all the way up to the 28-yard line. So it will be 3rd down and 8. They got to get to the 35 for a first down. Minute 25 and counting on the clock. And it looks like they are just keen to run this clock out and head to the locker room. Killingsworth under center. 10 seconds on the play clock. 1:06 on the game in the first half. Killingsworth hands it off. Ballard hit immediately and dropped. No gain on the play. It'll be 4th down and 8. And this will take us to halftime. There is 40 seconds. Well, the play clock is turned off. The game clock now runs down under 35 seconds to go. Dimitri Campbell stands back deep to receive a punt that will not come. And Atlantic does not have to snap the ball again as the play clock shows 15 seconds. The game clock shows 12 seconds. So it is halftime here at Daytona Stadium. It is the Seabreeze Sandcrabs 42, the Atlantic Sharks nothing. We'll be back for the second half shortly. This is Atlantic Football on MJT Sports Productions. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium, where it is halftime between the Atlantic Sharks and the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. The Sandcrabs lead the Sharks 42-0 behind a tremendous rushing performance by Amir Brown. He has 3 touchdowns. Quarterback Blake Boda has 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown of his own. And that is how we have gotten to this point. This week, the FHSAA released the 2020 conference realignment, putting Atlantic in Class 5A Region 2, along with mostly teams from the Ocala area. Alongside the alignment, Florida HighSchoolFootball.com put out a guide to the 2020 Football State Series, and during halftime, I wanted to go over that process for anybody listening who was confused or didn't know the new regulations for this year. First off, every school that opts in will make the playoff field, and all seeding will be done by random draw. There are 17 teams in Class 5A Region 2. 15 of those teams will play in the second play-in round on November 13th. The other 2 teams will have to play an extra game on November 6th, which will set up a 16-team regional bracket that will play out like normal. Once again, seeding will be done by random draw, so it is up to chance if Atlantic will be one of the 2 teams that will have to play an extra game or be part of the 15 teams to advance to the first round automatically. Once again, your score at halftime is Sandcrabs 42, Sharks nothing. You're listening to the Atlantic Sports Network on MJT Sports Productions. We'll be back for the second half after this. Stay with us. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium, where it is halftime. Halftime just about to come to an end. The Sandcrabs of Seabreeze lead the Sharks of Atlantic 42-0. The Seabreeze Sandcrabs are just coming back out of the field to warm up to my right. My name is Michael Trevino. Thank you for joining me for this second ever broadcast of Atlantic Sharks football at MJT Sports Productions. A few first half stats for you. Rushing the football, Amir Brown was the feature back for the Sandcrabs. 13 carries, 101 yards for 3 touchdowns. Blake Boda also ran 3 times. He has 37 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Boda, the quarterback, is 5 of 6 for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. And for the Atlantic Sharks, the rushing numbers are these. Quarterback John Killingsworth has 4 rushes for 5 yards. Dennis Gaines has 1 carry for 3 yards. Richard Ballard, 2 carries for 2 yards. And Jakari Bolden has 1 carry for 1 yard. Nate Davis has 1 carry for -8 yards. That was that jet sweep that went awry in the first quarter. Passing for John Killingsworth, 3 of 13 with 2 interceptions for 44 yards. His long is 17. He's taken 1 sack. Mason Tandy's been the standout receiver for Atlantic. 2 receptions, 27 yards. And Nate Davis has a catch for 17 yards as well. And those are your first half stats. Once again, we will be back in a moment with the second half. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Welcome back to Daytona Stadium. It's the second half between the Atlantic Sharks and the Seabreeze Sandcrabs. For the second week in a row, we will have a running clock in the second half as the Sandcrabs lead the Sharks 42-0. Atlantic will get the football first to start the second half. Mac Cimento is getting set to kick it away. 4 of his 5 kickoffs have gone, 4 of his 6 kickoffs have gone for touchbacks. Alex Smith back deep to receive. He stands at his own 3-yard line. Cimento will kick from right to left. The Sandcrabs in the red helmets, light blue jerseys, white pants, red trim. Cimento addresses the football. He puts his foot through it. It's going to hang in the air, and it's going to go into the end zone. And a touchback is called. So Atlantic will have the ball at their own 20-yard line. Atlantic tonight, silver helmets, white jerseys, black pants, silver numbers, black and teal trim. And I do want to mention I'd say about 100 or so Atlantic fans that have come out to the game tonight. They are sitting on the far sideline across from me. And it looks like the cheerleading squad for Atlantic is out there as well. Great to see the community out here supporting their team. The clock runs, 11:28 to go, third quarter. Atlantic just about to come to the line for their first snap of the third. They are still in the huddle, 19 seconds on the play clock. Both teams have had play clock issues in tonight's ball game. Killingsworth under center. He takes the snap. He's immediately under pressure. The ball is loose and Seabreeze dives on it. For the second week in a row, a turnover on a handoff. As picking up the football was number 34. I do not have a 34 on my roster. And the PA announcer has announced B.J. Glenn has the fumble recovery. So Seabreeze will once again have the ball deep inside Atlantic territory. They will start at the 19-yard line after just one play, the fumble on the snap from Killingsworth. And it will be Amir Brown, the running back, taking direct snaps again. This will be the second time he's done it in the ball game. Power formation with the two tight ends left, and the referee will call delay of game on the Sandcrabs. So that'll move him back from the 19 to the 20 to the 21. No, I can't do math. To the 24-yard line. No, they were on the 14. They're now at the 19. So first and 10 for the 19. Brown takes the direct snap, runs left. He's got a lane. He's got to go to the end zone. Direct snap to Amir Brown, his fourth rushing touchdown of the game. This one via direct snap. He had a direct snap touchdown last weekend. The only points that Seabreeze scored in their 26-7 defeat to the University Titans. And again, a one-play drive results in a touchdown. Chimento on for the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. 8 minutes and 36 seconds and counting on the running clock in the third quarter. It's now Sandcrabs 49, Sharks nothing. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Clock running in the second half here at Daytona Stadium. Mac Chimento puts the ball on the tee at the 40-yard line, getting ready to kick it off once again after the fourth rushing touchdown of the game by Amir Brown. It is now 49-0 Sandcrabs over the Atlantic Sharks. Chimento to kick off from the 40-yard line. Back deep to receive once again is Alex Smith. He stands at his own goal line. The kick goes short. It's going to bounce into the end zone. Bounce at the 5-yard line, then rolled in. And the Atlantic Sharks once again will start at the 20-yard line. It's time you feel your best, physically, mentally, spiritually, to be centered and supported. To feel the power of a world-class healthcare network coming together to help you take control of your health. It's time to feel whole. Advent Health is a proud supporter of Volusia County School Athletics. Visit adventhealth.com to learn more. Atlantic once again starting from their own 20-yard line, moving left to right here in this third quarter. 6 minutes and 24 seconds in it. They trail the Seabreeze Sandcrabs 49-0. Killingsworth in the gun. He takes the snap, pressure coming as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. He was looking for a crossing pattern of Mason Tandy. Tandy was covered very well on that play by Dimitri Campbell. And once again, Atlantic will walk all the way back about 15 yards beyond the line of scrimmage to huddle up to talk about the play. Killingsworth runs all the way over to the sideline to talk to his coach, Chris Brown. Now he runs back to the huddle. 5:32 on the game clock, on the running game clock here at Daytona Stadium. Killingsworth will go under center, 2 receivers each side. Richard Ballard in the backfield. 4 seconds on the play clock. Now shifting into the shotgun formation and calling a timeout as Killingsworth once he realized how much time was left. So a timeout taken by Atlantic. Will take one too. 5:04 to go in this third quarter. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Stay with us. Timeout over. Sharks back to the line of scrimmage. 25 seconds on the game clock. 5:04. Or, sorry, 25 seconds on the play clock. 5:04 on the game clock, third quarter. John Killingsworth is under center. He takes the snap. He hands the ball off. No, he's going to fake it, throw to the near side. It's caught by Tandy. A sliding catch at the 24-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4, bring up 3rd down and 6. Nice little route there by Tandy coming back to the football after the play-action pass, and Killingsworth had to roll out because he was under immediate pressure. And it seems like all night the linebackers and defensive line for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs have been getting pressure up the middle. Killingsworth again jogs to the sideline to get the play. Now, finally, Atlantic step up to the line. With 13 seconds to go on the play clock, taking their time here, the Sharks. Just over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Here's the play action on a jet sweep. It's floated out to Tandy, who dropped it. Mason Tandy still had a lot of work to do as he caught that ball about the 26-yard line and needed to get to the 30 with 2 light blue jerseys bearing down on him in the form of Stephen Taylor and Dimitri Campbell. But he does drop the pass, so it'll be 4th down and 8. And Dakari Bolden will be back on to punt. The return man for the Sandcrabs stands at his own 48-yard line. Snap is low, but the kick is away. It bounces at the 45, taken to the 50-yard line. Now 45, 40, near side 35, and down to about the 32-yard line. As on the return was J.J. Kelly. He normally plays safety for this Sandcrabs team. 21 seniors this season for the Seabreeze Sandcrabs, and due to the new regulations where every team that wants to opts into the state series makes the playoffs, they will have their first playoff appearance since 2014. At halftime, we were treated to a wonderful performance by the Seabreeze High School Marching 100 Band. And again, the Sandcrabs are doing all this offensively without wide receiver Chris T.O. Lewis, part of the dynamic duo of wide receivers called T&T by Coach Brett Brown, Trevon Phillips and Chris Lewis. Lewis has offers from Iowa State and Central Michigan, and he was seen down on the sideline, and I can see him now standing at about the 30-yard line with street clothes under his jersey and no pads on. Seabreeze back out on the field. It's Boda in the gun. Amir Brown to his right. Two receivers each side. Boda claps his hands, takes the snap, hands to Perry left side, looking for a lane 30, cuts it up 30, 25, 20, and he's breaking tackle, spins away for another one, 15, 10, 5. That was spectacular. A fifth touchdown of the game for Amir Brown, and that one his best yet. Broke about 4 tackles on his way to the end zone. Spun out of a tackle at about the 10-yard line and then used his speed to race away. And it is now 55-0 Seabreeze, pending the extra point from Mac Chimento. Snap down, hold good, kick on the way, and it is good. So with 1:40 to go and counting on the running clock, it's Sandcrabs 56, Sharks nothing. We'll take a short break and be right back. This is Atlantic High School football on MJT Sports Productions. Seabreeze set to kick it off once again. Seems they've done this about once every 10 minutes tonight, as they have scored again for another touchdown run by Amir Brown, his 5th of the game. He's got 15 carries, 154 yards, and 5 scores. That last one, a beauty. From 35 yards out, broke about 4 tackles on a sweep scamper to the left-hand side. Chimento getting ready to kick this ball off again. He will have to because there's about a 1-second difference between the play clock and game clock. And the clock will run out on the 3rd quarter. So we will go to the 4th. We'll start the 4th with a Seabreeze kickoff. 12 minutes to go in the ball game. Sandcrabs 56, Sharks nothing. This is Atlantic Football on MJT Sports Productions. Start of the 4th quarter here from Daytona Stadium. I'm Michael Trillo here from MJT Sports Productions. I hope you've been enjoying the broadcast tonight. Mac Chimento is set to kick it away. Alex Smith is once again standing at his own goal line. He addresses the ball with the right foot. It hangs in the air and goes well over Brown's head into the end zone. Another touchback for the powerful right foot of Mac Cimento. Atlantic will once again start at their own 20. This being a rare Thursday game here at Daytona Stadium and in Volusia County, the reason is the other high school team that shares this venue, the Mainland Buccaneers, have a home game tomorrow as they host the Deltona Wolves, who Atlantic will travel to next weekend to play Deltona on the 9th of October. The MJT Sports Productions hopes to be there covering that one for you live. We are still getting a few details worked out with Deltona. But expect us on the air live 7 p.m. 9th of October for the Sharks at the Wolves. Atlantic now from their own 20-yard line. 10 minutes 46 to go in the ball game. They trail the Seabreeze Sandcrabs 56-0. Tandy goes in motion. Killingsworth takes the snap. He throws it over the middle. That pass is caught by Bolden. He turns the corner to the 30. He tiptoes the line and finally is pushed out of bounds all the way up near the 35-yard line. They'll spot it exactly right there. Richard Ballard out of the backfield makes a nice little leaping catch, then turns upfield for a 25-yard gain. Or a 15-yard gain, rather. Killingsworth back in the huddle after receiving the play. 10 minutes even and counting to go here in this ball game. And we're going to see if Atlantic can mount one more offensive stride here in the fourth quarter. They've got a first down and 10 at their own 35. They've crossed the 50 once before. That was right at the beginning of the second quarter. Killingsworth in the gun, Ballard to his left. Three receivers split out all the way to his right, one on his left. He's going to fake the handoff to Ballard, throw a screen, and Tandy couldn't come up with it. It was a bit high and a bit behind Mason Tandy as he crossed the formation right to left. So it will be second down and 10. Bunch of other area games tomorrow night. We mentioned Mainland hosting Deltona right here at Daytona Stadium. Pearson Taylor hosts Halifax Academy, who Atlantic will host for their one home game of the season. That's on the 23rd of October. Pine Ridge is at New Smyrna Beach. Father Lopez is at Providence. Trinity Christian hosts Ocala Christian. DeLand hosts Spruce Creek in the marquee matchup of the week. Big eyes on those two teams, as DeLand, the powerhouse of the area, Spruce Creek trying to prove they belong. And the final game of the area tomorrow is Flagler Palm Coast facing the streaking University team that beat the Sandcrabs here at Daytona Stadium last week, 26-7. It will now be second down and 10 for the Atlantic Sharks. From the Seabreeze 35-yard line, they go right to left here in this fourth quarter. Killingsworth in the shotgun, two receivers to each side. He takes the high snap. He's got pressure coming. He rolls out to his right. He's going to look to run to the 35, to the 40, and he's going to go out of bounds past the 45, close to a first down. And a flag flies late on the Seabreeze sideline. They will give him first down yardage to the 47-yard line. And the referee didn't so much as throw the flag. He just sort of dropped it. And he's indicating that maybe it's against Atlantic. We will see what the penalty is when the referee announces it. They called a blindside block, but then the referee who actually called the foul says, no. And now we'll get a recall of the penalty. And they're going to call the blindside block on Seabreeze. So give Atlantic the first down and a lot more. Tack on 15 yards. They'll be into Seabreeze territory for the second time tonight. Clock now rolling, under 7 minutes to go in the ball game. They will be set up at the Seabreeze 39-yard line, which marks the deepest foray in enemy territory the Sharks have gone tonight. Atlantic rushes from the huddle up to the line. 13 seconds on the play clock. Both Tandy and Isaiah Davenport move from the left side of the formation to the right There's 3 receivers to that far side. With 5 seconds to go, Killingsworth takes the snap. He throws, and it's incomplete. It was just past the hands of Tandy, who was on a curl route coming back to the football, threw it a little bit behind him. Davenport also was in the area and dove for the football, but it was well behind him as well. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the Seabreeze 39. Upcoming schedule for Atlantic. Obviously, they play at Deltona next week, 10-9. They play at Father Lopez on the 16th of October. They have their lone home game of the season against Halifax Academy on the 23rd of October. The 30th, they're at Spruce Creek, and they end the season at Pine Ridge on the 6th of November. Now 2nd down and 10 from the 39-yard line. Killingsworth in the shotgun. Against a 3-man rush, he takes the snap. He rolls to the right. Immediate pressure. He dumps the ball off to Tandy, and Tandy dropped it. Tandy was wide open with about 5 yards of cushion to the nearest defender. A flag flies late, well after the play, as there is a Seabreeze player in a heap about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage at the 45-yard line, and immediately going to check on him and see if he's okay. That was Sam Orlovsky, the defensive lineman who was down on the ground. But he is up now and walking towards the sideline as the crowd here at Daytona Stadium gives him a nice little round of applause. Let's see what the flag is. They're going to call a late hit on Atlantic that sent Orlovsky to the ground. So now they'll move him back, and instead of 3rd down and 10, it will be 3rd down and 25. They'll move him back past the 50. The clock continues to run, running clock here in the second half. So 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the game. Seabreeze still, or excuse me, Atlantic still congregating over on the far sideline. Now Atlantic will rush out onto the field and face a 3rd down and 25. They're all the way back on their own side of the field at the 47-yard line. Killingsworth in the gun. Davenport goes in motion left to right. Killingsworth takes the snap. It's going to be a delayed handoff to Bolden. Bolden almost broke a tackle. He dragged the defender to the 50-yard line and down to the Seabreeze 49. So now it will be 4th down and about 20. He's actually 4th down at exactly 20 after the 5-yard run by Ballard. And let's see if they keep the offense on the field with 4 minutes exactly and counting to play in the football game. The Seabreeze schedule upcoming, they play here at Daytona Stadium next Friday, the 9th of October, against Spruce Creek. That is a game that Seabreeze has not won since 2013, and it'll be a good contest. Then they play here again against New Smyrna Beach on the 16th. They go 2 straight away games, Pine Ridge and Mainland on the 23rd and 30th, although that Mainland game will be also here at Daytona Stadium because they share the venue. And then they end with a very difficult game at DeLand, or versus DeLand here on the 6th of November. That's the rest of the schedule for Seabreeze. And they will punt the ball away, will Atlantic. Dakari Bolden on. He stands at his own 40-yard line. 10 seconds on the play clock. They get the play off, and everybody just stops. But the play is good. The punt goes down to the 30-yard line, takes a nice little Atlantic bounce, and settles at the 24. So Seabreeze takes the ball back. 2 minutes, 53 seconds on a running clock. I think that Seabreeze can just kneel this one out. And they'll call a water break, so that will stop the clock. We'll take one final break and be back for the end of the ball game. This is Atlantic Sharks football on MJT Sports Productions. Seabreeze offense on the field for the final time. 2 minutes, 51 seconds to go. The clock will be running once the ball is snapped. The Sandcrabs lead the Atlantic Sharks 56-0. Now the clock begins to run. In motion goes Trevin Phillips to the far side of the field. He's the lone receiver out there. Boda gets the snap. He hands it off and hit in the backfield, but still moving to his left is the running back. It's a new running back in the game. Terrence Robinson in at feature back, as he is bounced down for a gain of only 1. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. So Atlantic will be blanked for the 2nd game in a row. They dropped their opening contest to Matanzas 52-0 last week. And they'll get Seabreeze for a block in the back here. Clock down under 2 minutes to go. And they will fall here 56-0 to the Sandcrabs of Seabreeze. And it's been a dominant performance on the ground by Amir Brown. 5 rushing touchdowns, 15 carries, 154 yards. Here's another run for the Sandcrabs off to the left-hand side. And Zed Martin, the backup running back, is in. That previous play was to him. There's another Shark down, and immediately he is being called over to be addressed to by the trainers on the Seabreeze side. The man down is Jacob Williams. He's down at about the 30-yard line. So the clock does stop for injury, minute 15 left. We've seen glimpses from Atlantic today. We've seen glimpses of what they can be. A couple of passes just out of the reach of receivers down the field. Maybe 2 touchdowns dropped on long passes. A couple of just dropped passes over the middle. Mason Tandy had a couple of drops. But all in all, I think today they played a more cohesive offensive game than they did last week against Matanzas. As Jacob Williams is brought to his feet and helped off to the Atlantic sideline. The clock now rolls again under a minute to go. All Seabreeze needs to do is come on the field and snap the ball, and this ball game will be over. Sharks fans, join us for the Atlantic High School home football game versus Halifax Academy on October 23rd. Remember, the location has changed. The game will now be played at the Ormond Beach Sports Complex at 7 p.m. This will be both homecoming and senior night for the Sharks. We hope to see you there. And it looks like the referees have called this one as the clock runs down under 20 seconds to go. The teams make their way off the field. The crowd here at Daytona Stadium rises to their feet as they have seen a rip-roaring performance tonight from their Seabreeze Sandcrabs. Your final score, Seabreeze Sandcrabs 56, Atlantic Sharks nothing. So as I said, a little bit better for the Atlantic Sharks this week, but they still cannot find the end zone. And Amir Brown just absolutely torched him. He is the best player we have seen this season by a long shot. 5 touchdowns, 154 yards on 15 carries for Brown. 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown for quarterback Blake Boda for the Sandcrabs. and a rushing touchdown for him as well. The receiving touchdowns were caught by Trishad Troutman and tight end Matthew Bossett. And that is how we get our final score of Sandcrabs 56, Atlantic Sharks nothing. Next week, MJT Sports Productions will be on the air at 7 p.m. as the Atlantic Sharks travel to take on the Deltona Wolves. Join us at MJT Sports Productions on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube for that broadcast. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter. Never miss a moment of the action. Let's go Sharks. So that's it. We'll wrap it up here from the Daytona Stadium. Sandcrabs 56, Sharks nothing. Thank you all for listening to this Atlantic Sports broadcast on MJT Sports Productions. I have been Michael Tervillo, saying so long and have a very pleasant evening.